Hello, my wonderful people, and welcome to another tier list. I love making tier lists, and so I have brought you another one. Today, we are ranking every single tower defense simulator boss ever. I think there's a few missing, but to be honest, if they're not on this list, they're probably not memorable enough. So, skill issue. I could just be doing a normal ranking here, but that's not what I'm going to be doing. I have decided we're not ranking them on just general coolness or intimidation factor, although those things are considered. We are ranking them based on how they would do in a bar fight. I know, my ideas are truly one of a kind. Let's get on with it with our first bloke, OG Gravedigger. Now, OG Gravedigger, he doesn't have much going for him. He's got an eye patch which impairs half of his sight. He's got a hood that impairs his vision, so he can't really see much. To be honest, this man is just a bloke drinking at the bar. He's not doing anything. He has a shovel, but hey, you're probably not allowed to walk in with a shovel. Maybe you are, but probably not. Alright, next up is Legacy Molten Boss. Now this guy has a little bit of street cred, you know? That's probably the one thing this guy got. He has pretty good drip. The scythe is probably not allowed in the bar, so we're not counting the scythe, because ain't nobody doing that. Although he can summon fireballs, so this guy will probably burn down the entire bar. However, I'm not saying he's like the MVP, so I'm going to put him in will manage. So, he's not the biggest threat that we have in this list. Golden Titan. Golden Titan, he has a bunch of like weird gaps in between his hands and stuff and legs. To be honest, people are going to jam shit in between there, so he's going to be able to not move as much. However, what this guy does have is street cred. He probably has quite a bit of street cred, and that's the only thing saving him, but I think he's still just a bloke. I feel like a couple of good punches, yes, he's made out of gold, but hey, come on, if you're in the world of TDS, there's not going to be normal blokes drinking at the bar. I mean, probably a few, but there's going to be people who would fold him. Speaking of folding, the OG Fallen King. OG Fallen King, you know, hella drip. He has a shield on him, which probably won't be confiscated by the bouncer. Let's be fair, it's just a shield, so he could shield bash the hell out of people. He's intimidating as hell, and yeah, just hella street cred. I also would like to believe that this guy has the N-word pass. So, hey, I guess that's a consideration. Yeah, this guy is gonna be on top of the food chain. Almost. Alright, we have the Creator. Now, drip. This guy has hella drip. He's got protection. He's got knee pads. Wow. He's got a little bow tie. Hella swag. Ain't nobody want to mess with him. And to be honest, he doesn't even have a weapon. He can fold people with his fists. Now, if that's not someone on top of the food chain, I don't know what is. Alright, we have our first event boss now. We have, what is this guy again? The Sword Master, I'm pretty sure? Yeah, Sword Master. You know, what I like to believe is, this man is not even making it to the bar. In my opinion, he is going to get mugged, like, in an alleyway before he gets to the bar because of his crown. People are just gonna shank him, steal his crown, and run off. He is not making it to the bar. Alright, we have Raider Boss. What do I do? Well, this is one of the bosses that doesn't really have the stature of height in his favor. He's a really, really normal bloke. These guys, tall as hell. This guy is on the shorter side. However, he does have a gun. Even though it would probably get confiscated, this man will go out of the bar, grab his gun, and shoot people. I think he will manage, but that's a big factor on if he has his gun. If he doesn't have his gun, I think he's here. If he does have his gun, I think he'll be here. So yeah. Who are you? Is this Mechanical Rot? Or Bot? I don't know. Not info. You ain't a little boss, little bro, in my opinion. What is this guy called again? Pumpkin! I don't know, I forgot. I'm too lazy to go look it up. This guy is literally just a machine with just guns on him. He's here. He will kill you. You can't really confiscate his arms, to be honest, but he's gonna last. He's made completely out of metal, and hey, he can probably pretty easily kill people. Alright, Krampus. Krampus has one big thing in his favor, the intimidation factor. This guy can look at you, and he's just hella intimidating. His drip, less so. He has shoulder pads, and that's basically it. And protection side. He's a big-ass staff that he can summon blizzards with. I don't know what he's going to do with those blizzards. I don't know, make the beers of the other people cold? I don't really see it. I think he will manage, but it's just barely, you know? And put his rage form up there as well. Ducky Doom. Yeah, you're on the list. I'm not even going to imply. This is just bum-ass boss, bro. Get out. Okay. Version 2 of the Molten Boss. Basically, the same fucking thing. So, I'm going to put him here. His drip is it's pretty much exactly the same. So, I'm just going to keep it at that. Alright, Void Reaver. Yeah, Void Reaver's on top. I don't have to explain why. He is, for a reason, one of the most tanky enemies in the game. This guy will not die to anything. I'm pretty sure if you piss him off enough, he will eat you. Legit. I'm not joking. Okay, Nuclear Fallen King, I think this is. Well, you ain't even in the game anymore, so you're just on Jeff's list. That's the reason he's not here, guys. He's on the list. Speaking of on the list, let me just put you on the list. Ain't nobody, you ain't doing none in a bar fight, Laurel. Swear to God. Lord Sinister. Lord Sinister, I'm gonna say it, probably has, of all of the people we've ranked so far, has the highest street cred, in my opinion. People love the guy. To be honest, if he gets in a fucking bar fight, he's gonna have random blokes just protecting him because he's a chill guy. He's the type of man that give other people beers. This round's on me type guy. So that's why I think he'll have hella people fighting for him instead of him fighting by himself. That's the reason I'll put him up there. Frost Spirit, version 1. The first version of Frost Spirit, not much going on. He doesn't really have a lot of armor. He just has a robe or like a cloak or whatever the hell. He does have wings that has chains on them, so probably can smack a few people out of there. If he wants to, he can just bust through the ceiling and fly away, if he really wants to, but I think in a fight, he will, yeah, he will snap people. He's got that intimidation, you know? What is this guy called again? I can't remember. Oh well, a pumpkin bloke from Solar Eclipse. I can't remember his name, but that's a little too bad. Besides his axe, which will get confiscated because, hey, it's a bar, not a weapon show, I think he does hit the gym. Look at those arms. However, the main problem is we have seen this guy headless. So that incites me that this guy's head can be ripped off. As soon as his head gets ripped off, he is done. He can't see anything anymore. That's the problem. As soon as his pumpkin's gone, dead. I forgot what this guy's called as well. Swamp Monster, I think. God, I think it is, I guess. Oh well. Swamp Monster. Yet again, his trident's confiscated because it's a bar. So he does have his tentacles, which helps him a lot. However, he is a little bit shorter in stature, so I'm going to assume he will manage. But if he comes across like, oh, Fallen King or something, he's not living. Perumbras. Now, this guy, I mean, this guy is probably from all the bosses the closest to having a wife. So he's probably not even at the bar. But if he is, I don't think he's actually lasting that long. Yes, sure, he has magic and stuff. He can float. That's it, float. I think people will gang up on him because he's low-key kind of a loser. So I'm going to put him here. I think he's going to get ganked up on. And then he's just going to be beaten to death. Now, the only reason he won't be horribly beaten to death is if he is with the Umbra. Yeah, people usually keep to the men fighting. That's not sexist. It's just how bar fights usually go. And even if hella intimidating, if you touch her, you're gonna get like shanked in the alleyway because of the simps. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, nuclear monster. Besides being a furry, he doesn't really have that much going for him. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, sure, he has like an open rib cage, which seems like just a blatant weak spot. But hey, to be honest, I think he will manage because of how big it is, how big he is. But I don't think he's quite on the level of these guys. We're all just we're like fisticuffs, you know? Unless some very special reasons, like this guy who just has fucking guns on his body. Gunslinger got that unspoken riz, man. The one thing weighing him down is he's a skeleton. Skeletons aren't exactly strong, but I think this guy is. I think this guy got hellish moves. He's got a casket on his back with a gun concealed in it. So even if his other guns get confiscated, that one will get through, and that one is a minigun. So he's probably gonna mow everyone down in this thing, because hey, smuggling. Speaking of smuggling, this guy walks the wolf or whatever the hell. You know, I would put him on the same rank as the pumpkin bot over there. However, there is one thing that concerns me. Whenever you fight him, as soon as he starts taking damage, he starts losing his like parts, his body. And to be honest, as soon as he's an exoskeleton, he is done. That gun ain't saving him. It's only one gun, and that gun shoots like presents, I'm pretty sure, or like some weird thing. I don't think he's lasting, I'm gonna be honest. Ducky Doom version 2. This guy has significantly more aura than the last guy. His horns are bigger, his eyes are bigger. He's got guns on him. He has treads, which is a negative because it really reduces his mobility in the bar. Holy fuck. Reduces his mobility in the bar. There we go. Sorry for the voice crack. I think he will manage, but I don't think he is an MVP. Just because his mobility is really, really shit. Yes, sure, he can go fast in one line, but as soon as it comes to turning, that's where he falters. Another robot. Damn, I just realized how many robots this day and age truly had, man. So many, Jesus. The Santa bot, or whatever the hell. He has guns, however, his guns shoot presents and Christmas trees. I don't really think, unless you want to clog the bar up with Christmas trees, I don't see how that's going to help him. He doesn't really have much. Yeah, sure, he's ornaments, but those are also just Christmas decorations. I don't think he's going to be doing much. Sure, he has maybe packs a punch, but I don't think he's comparing to the other blokes. Executioner plush. Okay. He's a plush. Speaks a lot of volumes. He is... come on, he's filled with like wool or something. His axe, he can't really conceal it unless he's going to put it up his ass. It's getting confiscated. So, I'm saying, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt and putting him as just a bloke. So, alright, moving right along, we have version 2 of the Pumpkin Boy. I'm just going to put him right next to him because, you know, he's bigger, he's beefier. He does have a new weakness point, being the little guy inside, but I don't know if he actually is, like, controlling him, or if that's just decoration. I don't have enough knowledge to tell you that, so I'm putting him right next to the other guy. Okay, also, we might as well put this guy up right next to them as well. It's just basically the same guy, but he's gotten, like, purple. Purple guy! I think this is, like, the narrator, but his two hands. Lil bro, you ain't the boss. Your hands were. And I don't see your hands on this list, so you don't count. Get out. Plus, we got narrator over here, so shush. The second version of Krampus. Now, unlike the old version of Krampus, he is brother. He has... Arguably, he has claws now. So he's going to maul people to death. I think, top of the food chain. He is going to kill people. He's probably going to eat people. You're not a boss. You're a chalkboard. This is the boss. Brute. This is the first time I am going to consider intelligence into the mix. Because, let's be fair, Brute, he looks like a failed experiment. He doesn't have the IQ, I think. He's going to run into a wall and knock himself out, I think. So that's why I'm putting him out cold. He's going to run into a wall because of his rage, either go through the wall or hit his head and pass out. The modern version of Gravedigger. This guy, he hit the gym. A common trend for like bosses coming back is they hit the gym. Look at this guy. This guy, you're telling me these two are on the same level? Hell nah. I will say he's not quite on the level of these guys. However, he has been promoted by one singular tier. I think he will manage. Oh yeah, patient 0 or of the hell, I feel like. You know, what I always like to think is, this guy is just a massive pushover. He doesn't really have, like, the buff. Sure, he's tall, but that's it. Yeah, sure, he has a gun, but he has to carry out that big-ass pack on his back, which reduces his mobility by quite a lot. And as soon as people start out-moving him, he falls. So, that's why. Okay, reworked Molten Boss. Do I have to say anything? Look at him, bruh. Even if his weapons get confiscated, he will just beat the living hell out of people. Speaking of beating the living hell out of people, this guy, reworked Fallen King, probably is not as good as offensive, but look at his defense. He has armor, bro. In fist fights, people ain't doing nothing to him. And for that reason, just because of his resilience, he's going and will snap you in half like a twig. Get the hell out of here, stupid skibbity toilet. This bloke, Corblox, you're on Jeffrey's list too. You are not a boss because we haven't fought you, so you don't count. Oh wait, you're here again. You know what? I'll promote you one tier because you look a bit stronger. I'll promote you a tier. I'm a generous man. My boy, TDS. This man has pretty much no chill. He is cuckoo in the head. He is cuckoo for coconuts. He has a big-ass metal arm that, yes, can be detached, but I think just he is going to be clobbering people to death. He doesn't really have the stature, but boy, he sure has pretty much everything else. The IQ department is lacking, however, but I think he'll still manage on his own. Speaking, just get this other guy in here. The Conserver. So, this guy's main weapon is a big-ass club. That club is not being allowed in the bar. However, I do think he will just... Look at his hands. His hands are probably longer than some of the guys on this list. So, that's why I'll put him on the top of... No, not top of the food chain, but almost. We have the dog. Well, dogs aren't allowed in the bar. However, this is an eldritch abomination that's the size of Jupiter. So, literally the apex predator. So, I don't know what you want me to say. This is literally just an eldritch abomination. Hasm. Corrupted Hasm. Corrupted Hasm is not lasting. I'm gonna be honest. He has a cat on his head. Weak point. He's a big-ass hammer. That hammer's not allowed in the bar. Sorry, brother. And your fisticuffs and armor are not enough for you to be lasting any longer. Okay. Frost Spirit version 2. Holy shit. He hit the gym probably more than any of these motherfuckers on this list. Bro, look at these two differences. I think his broadness increased by like 2 times. I'm putting him top of the food chain. Even if he doesn't have his scythe, he can throw punches and he can still fly. Hella drip. Templar. Templar has hella defense. His offense a bit lacking because he doesn't have his minigun. Even because the minigun's too big. He can't really hide it, you know? He can't smuggle it into the bar. Unlike this guy, unlike the gunslinger who has it tucked in his coffin behind him. I will think because of his armor he will manage, but his offense is lacking. Ducky Doom 3.0. So they were like, okay, how do we improve Ducky Doom? Well, the treads are probably a little bit less big, so I'm assuming it's a little bit more mobile. And then they just decided, you know what, let's give him a crack pipe. Whenever I see this guy, I cannot take him serious, and I'm just making jokes about him smoking a fat pipe. His armor is more, though, and his guns are a bit bigger, but I ultimately think he still suffers the same flaws. This bunny robot. All they really have to do is pry Nerd Duck out of his suit, and he's cooked. Because of Nerd Duck controlling this, you know, the main thing he does in his battle when you fight him is jump around. You can't really jump around much in a bar. You're gonna be stuck in the ceiling. So I'm thinking you're just a bloke, you know? You are just one of the people just throwing random punches. You are not a main character like these people. Corrupted Commander. This guy, I'm pretty sure, is brain dead, so I think he'll just die of lead poisoning when he drinks a beer, to be honest. Titus Wannabe. You'll never be Titus. I don't even think he's allowed to drink beer because he's on the job, you know? He's protector of a realm. He can probably... I mean, he one-punched Titus really far, so I think that at least puts him on par with Titus. However, I think all of these people will fold him, so... Kronos. Now, Kronos has a bit more of the IQ than Titus does. They are buds, so that's why they do genuinely have an advantage. There's two of them. The other two, I'm not ranking. I'm not ranking Ramiel and Maximus because we haven't technically fought them yet. So, they're not on the list. However, this guy... Basically, all the power is in his staff, though. The only reason I'm putting him in Will Manage is because he will probably be fighting alongside Titus. I know it's Titus, but Titus is my joke. Okay, shut up. The Void Walker, or Rift Walker, or whatever the hell, this guy. Unimaginable aura. This man, if this man walks into a room and does the room is silent. People are not even going to attempt to fight this man because he knows he will phase them out of existence. That's how bad it is. Okay, and finally, the last two, producer and narrator. I'm going to rank these two on a pack. Yeah, they're not lasting, I'm going to be honest. Narrator is probably going to end up rage baiting someone until they get pissed. If the entire bar fight's happening, narrator is the reason why. He is going to end up pissing people off, like pissing one of these people off. That's going to start a fight, and people are just going to join in because of that. He is the reason it happens in the first place. And he is probably one of the first ones to go down. I'm going to be honest, along with his imaginary girlfriend, because he's schizophrenic. So yeah, that's the list of how I think TDS bosses would do in a bar fight. I don't know why I had this idea, but I did, and it was probably a little bit weirder than your usual tier list because I added a little twinge on it. But hey, doesn't really matter. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.